Okay, welcome to our Team Power Call. We're so excited that you all are here. We're excited to have some new coaches. I know that Stacy is not like brand new, but she's newer to our team. So welcome, Stacy. Excited. And this is Lisa's first call. So everybody wave to Lisa. We're so excited that you're here too. Hi. Oh, and there is Shannon in all of her hooded glory. We're so pumped you're here too, Shannon. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about time management and life balance, which is something that I know I've talked to all of you personally about. I've experienced as well myself that it is hard to be able to find that balance in life and to find time to really kind of do it all. So what we're going to do tonight is kind of walk through an exercise to help you kind of put the pieces together. So I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen and write down these questions or your answers. So I'll give you a second to grab a piece of paper and hands. Wait till I see you guys back. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Can you hear me now? I just lost you guys and then you came back. So can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. That was really weird. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to have you do is you can write down the answers to your questions, but I also encourage you to write down the question because a lot of these are going to take some time to really think about. And when you have your next call or email with your coach, I want to share with her your answers. So the very first thing, question number 1 is to write your why. Why are you a coach? And before you jump right into, I want to help somebody or I want to hold myself accountable, those are 2 things that you're going to find in every coach. So I want you to dig deeper and ask yourself, why are you a coach outside of wanting to help people and outside of wanting to keep yourself accountable? And really, really dig deep into why did you sign up? Why are you inviting people? Why are you running these groups? Why are you really a coach? And that is something that it's taken me a while, and honestly, it's going to change. Because as you go further in, your why is going to change, just like it does with your fitness journey. It will change. And so don't be afraid to write down your why, feeling like you're locked in, because it will change. But it did take me some time to really wrap my brain around why it is that I'm a coach. So I want you to start with that, with writing down why you're a coach. Now, question number 2 is, what do you want coaching to do for you and your family? What is it that coaching is going to provide for you? As I thought about this, I really had to, once again, take time to kind of put words to what I feel like coaching is going to do for me and my family. And ultimately, when I first started coaching, and it still is my goal, is to be able to provide an opportunity for my husband to live his dreams, because he's always wanted to be either a firefighter or a coach. And both of those things are things that really can't support a family very well. And so he has a great job. He doesn't really love it. And so that's one of my goals, and it has always been my goal, is to provide a way that our family can still have what we need and that he can live his dream, because I'm living mine. So that's what I want coaching to do for him. For my family, I want coaching to provide my family with opportunities to go and explore and to see the beautiful world that's around us, because I grew up in a family that we did a lot of fun things together as a family, but we never really had the extra money to go and see the creations of the world and to see what was around us and experience the blessings of the world. And so I want that for my family. And lastly, for me, I want coaching to help me break outside of this self-imposed I'm shy and quiet box. I want an opportunity to push outside of my comfort zone and to find a stronger me. And so that's what I want coaching to do for me. So I want you to write down what you want coaching to do for you and your family. And sorry, I'm getting like a frog voice now. Okay. Number 3, where do you want your business to be in 5 years? So many endless possibilities. But if you don't write down your goals, even if they're big, scary goals, it's nothing but a dream. So you need to make sure you write down and create a vision for yourself as to what you want your coaching business to look like in 5 years. Maybe it's to be, a 4-star diamond. Maybe it's to be top 10. Maybe it's to be emerald. Maybe it's to run a challenge group every month. Whatever it may be, I want you to really ask yourself what you want your coaching business to look like in 5 years. And then lastly, I want you to then ask yourself, what would it feel like to be in that place? What is it going to feel like to be in that place that you want to be in 5 years? Maybe it's a certain income. Maybe it's a certain rank, whatever it may be. What is it going to feel like to experience that? And I think that a lot of times when we can tie emotion to our why, it becomes more motivating. Just like with our physical transformation. If our goal is simply to be a certain size, there's some days that an ice cream cone or a hot fudge sundae are more important than that size, because your goal is just something that's just written on paper. It's something that might be interesting. But when you can tie emotion to it and your goal is, you know what, I want to be healthy for my family because I lost my dad and I don't want my kids to lose me. And there's that emotion behind it. There's that drive behind it. That motivation stays strong. And so I want you to really, really dig deep and ask yourself, what is it going to feel like? What will it feel like to be in that spot in 5 years? And the more emotion you can tie to it, the more motivation you will hold on to. Okay, so with these, like I said, I want you to take time, ask yourself, really think about the answers to these questions, write it down, and then hang it up so you can look at it, you can read it, you can feel it, you can live it every single day. Because like I said before, if it's not written down, if it's not experienced and thought about continuously, it's just a dream. It's going to be something that is just hoped for. But if you can write it down and you can work towards it every single day, it will become a reality. So write it down, hang it up. Okay, now the next list that I want you to write is, what are your top 5 priorities in life? The top 5 things that are the most important, no matter what, your top 4 to 5 priorities. Go ahead and write those down. Okay.
Are we talking about like sleep?
Sure. If that's one of your priorities, go for it.
Can that be one of my priorities?
If you want it to be, it's all you, my friends.
All right. It's going on the list.
Do it. Write down whatever your top priorities are. They're going to be different for all of us. So you write it, you own it, it's yours. Okay, now I want you to flip over your paper and I want you to write the daily, the weekly tasks, the hats that you wear, the responsibilities that are yours. Whether it's, doing the dishes, making the lunches, getting kids ready, baths, helping with homework, grocery shopping, meal planning, whatever it is, all of the hats that you wear, all of the responsibilities that are on your plate, the things that you are in charge of. So go ahead, I know, and it's going to be another list that will take a long time to write, but start writing and also write the question down so you can come back to it and write it down later because this is important. Okay, so now with this continually never-ending list, I want you to now compare it to the list of your top 5 priorities and start circling the things that align with your priorities. Only the things that connect with those. So there's going to be, I'm sure, a lot of things on your list that are done that are not connected, that are not in line with the top 5 priorities that you have in your life. So circle the ones that are in line with those priorities. And then I want you to take a good look at this list and ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, what on this list can you delegate? What can you hand off to somebody else and put someone else in charge of? Because us, especially as women and as moms, we like to try and do it all. We like to be in charge of and make sure it's all done right. I know that's one reason why I continue to do the laundry, because I want to make sure it's folded right, which is ridiculous because it's always unfolded once it hits their drawers. So that's something I need to learn to delegate. Another one is the garbage. My oldest, that is his job. Taking out the garbage to the big garbage can, taking the recycle bin and the garbage to the curb, bringing it in. That is his job. That is something I do not need to think about. So what on that list of non-negotiables can you delegate to somebody else? And mark those. The next one I want you to ask yourself is, what can you let go of, give up, or sacrifice? Now, those are going to be the hardest to hand over, because it's not just something that you're crossing off your list and walking away from, but it's a sacrifice. What is it that you can let go of, give up, or sacrifice? Because we all have so many things on our list, so many things to do, to take care of, that a lot of times we not only don't, or like on the bottom of the list, or we don't even make it on the list. So what are the things that you can let go of, give up, or sacrifice? And it kind of goes along the rule of, am I cutting out? Can you guys hear me? That was really weird. Okay, technology. It kind of goes along the lines of good, better, best. There's lots of good things in our lives. They're play dates, maybe they're girls' night out, maybe they're, I don't know, good things, lots of good things. But then there's also things that are better, and then also that are best. And it's our goal to live our life within the best category, and putting aligning our priorities with the best things available, and letting the good and the better things find spots where they may, but not take top priority. So mark the things that you can let go of, give up, or sacrifice. And then lastly, look at that list and ask yourself, what can you get help with? Whether it's you hire it out or you just simply ask for help, which is so hard to do. For example, 2 examples for you. I made a goal that when I reached a certain financial benchmark, that I would have somebody come clean my house once a month, which I used to think was the most ridiculous thing ever. But now it's like amazing, because I have somebody that can take care of the cleaning, so I can spend time with my family. Whereas on the opposite end of the spectrum, not going to hire out everything, but I can certainly, I found a way to carpool better, so that I'm not the one that's in charge of picking up and dropping off every single day. But simply just asking for help is really freeing. So write on your list and mark the ones that you can ask for help with, and be willing to ask for that help. Okay, so now you have this list of your priorities, how you can break them down, delegate them out, what you can get rid of, what is an importance that's taking up too much time. And now I want you to ask yourself, where does Beachbody fit into this? Is it one of your priorities? Is it something that needs to find time to fit into after your priorities? It just depends. It really is different for everybody. But you need to ask yourself, where does Beachbody fit into this? And be real with yourself and be okay with it. There's some people that can delegate big, huge, long chunks of every single day to Beachbody because they can. There's other people like Allie and I that we can't. There's small windows of time throughout the day that we can delegate time to that. So be real with yourself and be okay with it. For example, there was a girl that, that became a coach about a year after I did. And she has killed it. Like, she's going towards elite. She's already diamond. She's been amazing. And I spent so much time feeling like, oh my heck, I stink. Why am I doing this? I'm still sitting at Emerald. I'm busting my butt, but she's killing me. She's like blowing me out of the water. And then when I sat back and realized she has 8 hours a day to dedicate towards Beachbody, because she can. That's just the way that her life is set up. She has one child who's in school. This is her full-time job. She just simply has more time. But just because she has more time and gets there faster doesn't mean that I can't get there as well. So be real with yourself and own it. Whatever it is that it looks like for you, ask yourself, where does Beachbody fit into your priorities, and be okay with it. The next step with finding where Beachbody fits is to be intentional with your time and to set your business hours. To find that time that you are in Beachbody mode, because it can do one of two things. Either, hold on, you can't talk right now. Either you can totally take time off and say, oh, you know, when I have free time, then I will work on my business. It's not going to happen. Just like it is with your workout. If you wake up in the morning and say, oh, well, I'll try, you're never going to find time for a workout. There's tons of other things that will fill that spot. So either that's going to happen, or you're going to end up being a Walmart superstore. You will be open 24/7. You will be burned out in no time at all, because you will pour yourself into a business. Neither one of those are positive. Neither one of those are the directions you want to go. So be intentional with your time. Set your business hours as to when you are going to work. It might be an hour. It might be 8 hours. It might be 30 minutes. The amount of time doesn't matter as long as it's consistent. Once again, it's the same as your fitness journey. You can't work out for one day and then take 2 weeks off and think you're going to see results. It's the same with business. You can't work for a couple days and then take a bunch of time off and think that your business is going to continue to build. It's not going to happen. It's all about being consistent, but at the same time also being flexible, because kids get sick, families need you, there's performances to go to, work things that need to be dealt with. It's important to be flexible, because those top priorities are priorities. Family comes first. And so it's important to be consistent, but also to be flexible, and to, maybe rearrange your work time for a certain day because of different things that come up. And it's also important to remember that motivation is key. It goes right back to where we started with, why are you a coach? And what will it feel like to be where you want to be in 5 years? Motivation is everything. It's the same with your challengers. You can't push play for them. You can't work out for them. You can't meal plan for them, but you can be an example for them. You can be consistent. You can continually show up and show them that you are not going to give up. And it's the same with coaching. It's all about motivation and finding your motivation that will push you and continue to propel you forward. For example, there was a girl in one of my groups probably about a year ago, and she asked me if I would text her every morning to see if she'd gotten her workout in. And I was a new coach, and I was like, sure, I can do that. Every day for 90 days, I text her. And I was like, oh, she's going to be such a good coach. I need to continually motivate her. I need to pour it into her. I need to do this for her, because she's going to be amazing. After 90 days, she did great, but she then turned around and went to a different company to work for a different company. And I was like, oh, that stinks. I poured all of this into her. I was her motivation. I did it for her. And she didn't have that passion and that drive. And so it's the same with your challengers, with your coaching business, with the team that you build. You can't be motivated for somebody else. You can only be motivated for you. And as you share that motivation, as you share that consistency, you will continue to inspire other people to find their motivation. Okay, so what do we do with this time? We've talked about setting business hours. We've talked about being intentional with our time, because how many of us are guilty for scrolling through Facebook, just laying there and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling until we get to the end, even though there's no end. We're wasting our time. That's not working. And so how do we use this time? And it goes back to the idea of the power hour. Now, the power hour is something that can be customized and can be molded to fit your style and to fit what works best for you. So the idea of a power hour is to sit down and to have focused work time, to not be distracted by other things such as scrolling Facebook or Pinterest or other coaches' pages, but to sit down and to be focused on your 3 vital behaviors. Now, being a product of the product is something, it's a non-negotiable. It's something that's going to happen. It's part of your day. You've seen that, you've done that, you live that. So I personally don't count being a product of the product in my power hour because that's going to happen regardless. And so there's that aspect of it. But then in our power hour, we have personal development and inviting. Now, personal development is one of those things that should be done every day. It's something we've talked about quite a bit, but really the whole purpose behind personal development is to light the fire that's within you, to continue to light that motivation. And personal development looks different for all of us. I like reading books, but I usually fall asleep. So it's better for me to listen to podcasts, listen to Audible, listen to books on tape, whatever it may be. But it doesn't always have to just be Beachbody related. In fact, it shouldn't be. It needs to expand to, learning how to interact with people. Maybe it's learning about relationships. Maybe it is, I know Shannon likes to look at interior design stuff because that really inspires her. Anything that inspires you and lights your fire is personal development. So don't allow that to not be part of your day because we continue to give. And at the end of the day, if we haven't done our personal development, we're running on empty and we're useless to everybody. So include that personal development in your power hour. And then lastly is your inviting. Now, this is where it can become customized. I know that there's some people that like to invite 5 people a day, and that's great. There's other people, I know that Stacy likes to invite in big batches to, get out a whole bunch of invites at one time and then spend the rest of the week or a couple of weeks having those back and forth conversations. However you want to do it is totally fine, as long as it averages out to be about 5 people a day that you're inviting. Because if you're inviting 1 or 2 people a day, that's fine, but your business is going to grow much, much, much slower. And also, how many of us are guilty for looking at a list and being like, oh my gosh, these 5 people are going to be amazing. They are going to rock a challenge group. They need this. They're going to do this. And then you spend all month talking to those 5 people, pouring yourself into those 5 people. And at the end of the month, they all bail. And we freak out because we put all of our eggs in one basket. There's nobody for a challenge group. We're stuck. So, but if you would have continued to invite while talking to those people, there would have been a pool to choose from. There would have been a pool of people that eventually would have joined you and would have said yes. So just because you have some amazing prospects in front of you, that's awesome. But don't stop inviting. Continue to invite people to join you. So in the end, gosh, I'm losing my voice. In the end, make sure that you're continually inviting, reconnecting, rekindling those friendships and those relationships with people, because that is really what allows you to continue to help people and to share your journey and to inspire people. But it's also critical that you take time to remember to take care of you, not just physically. We all understand the importance of, physical exercise and nutrition. I don't feel good, so don't drink that cake. We all know the importance of taking care of ourselves physically, but it's also so important to remember to take care of ourselves mentally and emotionally as well. To take time to unplug, to put away that phone, to put away the computer. And if it's outside of your business hours that somebody texts you, calls you, messages you, comments, whatever it is, wait till tomorrow. Their life is not going to change. They are not going to go to a different coach. Life is not going to be over. They are not going to die if they have to wait until tomorrow to hear back from you. Don't let yourself be sucked into being a Walmart superstore. Set your business hours and be connected to them so that you can unplug and you can focus on those priorities, those top 5 priorities that you know are most important. And when you take a step back, remember that taking a step back doesn't mean that you are walking away and shutting it all down. It just means that you're simplifying. So once again, goes back to that good, better, best. Just simplify. Take some of those things off of your plate. Go back to those top 5 priorities and start marking things off your list that do not align with those top 5 priorities, because that is where you can find balance. Because if we were building a bike and we didn't put the hub in the middle of the tire of a bike, the bike would not run properly. It might move a little bit, but it would be completely off kilter. It would not move forward in an effective manner. And that's the same with you. If you're not balanced, if there's those top five priorities are not in the center of what you are doing, it's not going to run properly. Your life is going to be off kilter, and that's not good for anybody. So that is the purpose of our call today, is just to help you align those priorities, align what is important and how does Beachbody fit into that. So I challenge you to really look at the questions that we started with why are you a coach? What do you want it to do for you and your family? Where do you want your business to be in 5 years? And what will it feel like when you're at that spot in 5 years? Write it down, hang it up, live it, read it every single day so that it can become a reality and something that you're working towards every day. So, Allie, do you have anything to say?
Lace, there was some real nuggets of wisdom in there. Anyone know who I'm quoting? Okay.
Nuggets. Nuggets.
I need to go back and replay this a couple times.
Yes, you're really going to want to go back and listen to this a few times.
There's some really good nuggets.
Seriously. That is how I feel, though. I felt like this talk, I felt like it was a talk. This call was very good. And as I wrote down my list, I realized that a lot of the hats that I'm wearing don't align with my priorities, which I thought was interesting. I felt like this is a really good exercise, not just for Beachbody, but just for my life, to be honest. Some of the things I wrote down that stood out to me the most is that I'm learning I can't push play for my challengers. I've known that, but I'm also learning I can't push play, so to say, for my coaches. And it's something you guys are going to have to learn too, that, you can't invite people for your coaches. You can't do personal development for your coaches. You create the best environment that you can where they can grow and thrive, just like you do with your challengers, but it's up to them. And it goes back to what Lacey was saying, is that what we're doing is we're giving people a hand up, not a hand out, okay? You can't do things for people or they're never going to learn to do it on their own. One thing I've been thinking about lately too is that if there's somewhere in the business that you're struggling with, don't just pick personal development at random, okay? It's okay to listen to a National Wake Up Call. I do that too. But if you're struggling with how to craft posts on social media to attract people, find personal development that teaches you how to do that. If you're struggling with how to be an effective leader, find personal development that will help you do that. This business, anybody can do this business, but the reason anyone can do this, or the people that can do this, are people that can teach themselves how to do it. Okay, you can't just walk into this having everything in front of you and knowing how to do it perfectly. Personal development is key, but don't pick it at random. Write down the things that you feel like you're struggling with in your business, whether it's inviting, crafting posts, running the challenge groups, whatever. Understanding the systems of Beachbody, right? And seek out personal development to help you in that specific area. I wish I would have done that a little sooner in my coaching career, but those are the main things I wrote down. Also, my why has changed over time. Do you see that? Right now I have money written down, which when I wrote it down, I'm like, I am like the worst person in the world. That's not how it started for me. But when I wrote down money, I realized the reason it's money is because I want to get these student loans paid off. I want to get my family in a position where we don't have any sort of debt hanging over us. So yes, it's money, but it's not in a greedy sort of way. And your motivations are pure because they're pure to you. And so write your list down of your why. And my why used to be helping people. It still is. I still want to help people. I don't want you to think I don't want to do that. But it's okay to be driven by different things. So anyways, I thought they were great lists. I thought it was a great exercise, Lace. I think you did a really good job. Going to want to go back over this call and listen to it again. So are there any questions? Or just anything you want to, any cool jokes you heard today or anything?
No, but look at these
No?
really cool
Okay.
note cards I got today, guys. I got this note card that says, "You would be nice even if you were a cat, and cats are a-holes."
That is awesome.
That
All these cool cards I'm going to send you people. I'm so excited.
Oh, Shannon, I love your hoodie.
Oh,
Is
thank
it a
you.
hoodie or a sweater? It's so
Yeah, no,
cute.
it's a hoodie. I've been sitting here like a criminal the whole time.
That's so cute.
That's awesome.
Well, thanks everyone for coming. Go ahead, Lace.
No, yeah, I was just going to say thank you guys for coming. So glad that you're here. Amazing. You're awesome. So we will totally check back in with you guys this week. Make sure you don't forget to schedule your call with your coach and share your 4 questions with them as well, or in an email. So you guys are awesome. Go get it. And we'll see you on the page.
See you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.